Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Harakakadash, double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to all the Akim who are tuning into these videos. Alright, so this video is going to be about the aftermath of Babylon after it gets hit by 200 million thermonuclear missiles. As you can see on the screen right now, it's a visual representation. It's from a video game called Fallout. The Fallout, it's pretty much it's about like America getting ready for World War III. So people buy tickets to go to a vault, and so they could survive the aftermath of those thermonuclear missiles. Again, it's just a visual representation, but I'm going to speak on it and bring out the precepts. All right, so this is Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And those Medes, that's talking about the Russians, because they're getting ready to start World War III, and they're gonna shoot those missiles over here in America. And don't say it's not gonna happen, because all you just gotta do is look at the news and see where all the climate's going. It's all heading to World War III. Verse 18 says, "Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." Alright, so coming back to the visual representation, because again, this is just a visual representation. Because pretty much what you gotta do is you have to look at this and then times it with 200 million. Because all the trees are burnt. And then in the video game, these things are ghouls, so to speak, and so they're humans that survive the blast, and they're irradiated and stuff. But the scriptures speak other contrary to humans surviving the nuclear blast. The only thing that's going to be able to inhabit this place are going to be desert creatures. So in the video over here, that thing is called a death claw. And I'm gonna speak on it in a little bit too. I'm gonna read the scriptures first. Alright, so verse 20, it says, "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the raven pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged." Alright, so this right here, I'm just gonna bring out the visual representation, because like I was saying, the Fallout franchise is pretty much about World War III, and then people emerging out of the vaults and pretty much rebuilding America from the ashes. Well, but the scriptures speak contrary to that, because there's gonna be so many nukes that are gonna hit this place that this isn't gonna be able to happen. The only thing that's gonna inhabit it is desert creatures. So like this picture right here, you can see is Washington D.C. But pretty much in reality, what's gonna happen is you're not even gonna be able to tell any landmarks, because this right here, the obelisk in D.C., it got beat up in the video game, but in real life, it's not gonna be standing at all. Alright, so this is the video game speaking on what those desert creatures are. So this is a death claw, and those lizard things that they were shown in this video. Alright, it says right here, it says death claws are large, agile, and strong species of mutated Jackson's chameleons created through genetic engineering. Because in the lore of the game, the U.S. Army was pretty much making these things so they can have a fighting chance in World War III. But here's the visual representation of how they they look in game. Well, this is drawings of them, and you best believe that the Heavenly Father has something like this tucked away. You might be able to see one of these before, or it's like during Jacob's trouble, but then once those thermonuclear missiles hit America, they're going to be able to inhabit these these lands. And again, this is just a artistic visual representation of how those beasts are going to look. Yeah, and you always hear that saying that after a nuke, the only thing that's going to survive are cockroaches, because cockroaches are built to withstand nuclear explosions and stuff like that. But humans are not. It's just, again, pointed out, this is just a visual representation. All right, so I'm gonna bring out this. I'm gonna read most of this in Isaiah 34. All right, so it says, Isaiah 34 and 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh power is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcass, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Verse 4 says, And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, and their leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So notice how this says, pretty much that the host of heaven shall be dissolved. Because there's going to be 200 million thermonuclear missiles, and it's going to be a really big explosion. And those missiles right here in verse 5, it says, For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. That's talking about those missiles reaching the atmosphere and then falling into Idumea, America, Babylon. And also it says right here, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Because it's not just the Edomites that are going to get nuked. It's going to be the 2/3 of the nation of Israel who are going to get judged. All right, so verse 6 says, The sword of the Lord Yahweh power is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh power hath a sacrifice in Bozrah. And you notice how it always speaks on the main target: Bozrah, Idumea, Esau, Edom. All right, it says, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Because not only is America going to get hit with thermonuclear missiles, but a lot of parts in the world, like key parts in the world, are going to get hit with those missiles. The only thing is, America is going to be uninhabitable by humans. Like, you're going to need a spiritual body to be able just to be near it. In the video it shows the guys walking through the wasteland with a radiation suit. Well, there's going to be so much thermonuclear missiles that's going to hit on this place that's not going to be possible. All right, so continue on. It says, verse 7, And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with the fatness. For it is the day of the Lord Yahweh power's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. That's talking about America, because it's going to be burning forever. Right, so verse 10 says, It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. For generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. Again, just bringing out the visual representations. That's the part where they got wrong in this part. Because nothing's going to be able to come and inhabit America except for the beasts of the field, like giant lizards, cockroaches, scorpions, anything that's able to withstand the harsh environment of a radiated land. All right, so I'll go ahead and read verse 11. It says, But the cormorant of the bitter shall possess it, the owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. They shall call all the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in their places, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the islands, and the satyr shall cry to his fellows, the screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. So another part that I'll bring out in in this video game Fallout is pretty much like before the World War III was gonna happen. They were advertising these vaults so that people can go in these vaults and survive the nuclear blasts. And so you got Edomites here. They're buying their tickets to go to the bunkers because pretty much there's gonna the elites are gonna be reserved in the bunkers, and like the hopeful elect, once they get those bodies to go hunt for everything, like they're gonna go into these vaults and they're gonna dig out the first fruits of slavery. So there's a picture of the Edomites with their family, the mushroom clouds in the background, and they're all going in line so they can go inside this vault. All right, but contrary to what they believe, that they're gonna come outside, emerge from the vault, and continue to do wickedness and try to rule the world. The Heavenly Father is gonna put them in slavery. So I'm gonna read that in Revelation 6, verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So going to this visual representation, you gotta times this by 200 million, because once those missiles hit, mainly in America, and it's gonna hit in other places as well, but it's gonna make the Earth roll to and fro, because it's gonna be so much like I forgot the word for it, but it's a lot of kinetic energy. It's gonna move mountains. It's gonna alter the shape of the world, just like how the flood altered the shape of the world during Noah's time. So pretty much after our great deliverance out of Babylon and those thermonuclear missiles hit this place, a new map is going to need to be drawn. All right, so I'm going to read verse 14 again. And the heaven departeth as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And once again, the scroll, being rolled together. That's speaking about those mushroom clouds. Like I said, don't say that those missiles ain't coming. So verse 15 says, "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb." And that Lamb right there is speaking about Yahushai, because he's going to come here and just start, kicking ass and taking names. So he's going to, kill a lot of Edomites, and then once the hopeful elect, they receive those bodies, they're going to become hunters, and they're going to go out and hunt these elites outside of their bunkers. All right, so I'm going to finish it off in verse 17. It says, "For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?" All right, so I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harakwadash, and Shalom Akim.